My name is Asoko Odo here, the messenger of the Most High God, the messenger of Akwabasibo. Some pastors, some preachers have been threatening their members. One time ago, we heard a pastor say, if you do not pay tithe, you will not make heaven. That's a lie from the pit of hell. It's not in the scriptures. It's not in the Bible. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying your prosperity is tied to your tithing because you don't pay tithe very well. That's why um, that's the reason you're not progressing in life and business. And but before I move ahead, the simple question I want to ask such preachers is that if you look at a young man called Dangote, which church do Dangote pay tithe to that he become the richest in Africa? Which church does he pay tithe to? Okay, the Chinese that are not even, most of them are not Christians. They don't even want to hear anything about Christians. But everything in Nigeria now is being imported from China. They're world power. Here we talk about tithing. Now, can I bring your mind a little bit back to the origin of tithe? Numbers chapter 33 and chapter 34. I want you to read it. That's why I don't have time to read because of time. I want you to read it to yourself, the origin of tithe. When the Most High to use Moses, to bring the children of Israel from Egypt back to their promised land, the Canaan land, the present Israel now. He ordered Moses to share the land to the 12 tribes, the nine and a half tribes in any case, and then he shouldn't give any tribe any inheritance to the tribe of Levite, because they were going to serve in the sanctuary. But remember, these people, some of them will have families, and what are they going to eat? And so along the line, the Messiah instructed Moshe, actually Moses in English language, to actually tell the people that what he blessed them with, they should take 1/10 of it to the storehouse so that there will be plenty of food there for the Levites who are working there. But you see, sometimes the food can get spoiled. So they will open the door and dash it out to the orphans, to the widows, and the rest and the rest. Because the pastors are now saying that the Old Testament have been annulled, that Jesus have nailed the Old Testament, the law of Moses, to his cross. But at the same time, anything that will profit their pocket and their business from the Old Testament, they will pick it out and preach it to, and in fact use it to threaten their members so that they can have it enough. They can have it enough. You see, this is wrong, very, very wrong. Because let somebody, if you are hearing me, show me from Matthew till Revelation, the New Testament, from Matthew till Hazon, show me one place anybody pay tithe or collect tithe or preach about tithe. Oh, yeah. Oh, you tell me that Jesus mentioned it. Yes, he mentioned it. He was talking to the Jewish people. He wasn't talking to Christians. He mentioned it. But he never collected tithe. Apostle Paul is called Apostle Paul. Never one day collected tithe. His name is Shaul, not even Paul, Shaul. Now, never collected tithe one day. He never preached about it. He never gave. Now, where is the example that Christians are using to collect tithe from their members? Old Testament law. But they are going to say, they say that Old Testament were taken away. Jesus had come with grace, and so they should not go back to keep the laws of Moshe. They call it law of Moses. Moses never created any law. He got the instruction from the Moses and gave it to the people. But you are saying that we shouldn't keep the law, but you keep the tithe. Which is the law of Moses? And Moses said, you always quote Malachi chapter 3 verse 10. Bring forth all your tithe to my storehouse so that there will be plenty of food. Let me ask you, pastor that's looking at me. Let me ask you, do you use your tithe money to cook food for the members? Do you do that? Do you do it? Do you use the tithe money to bless the lives of the members? It was, see, tithe was for the Levites who were serving in the sanctuary in the Old Testament, not the New Testament church. But pastors today are using that as a yardstick to threaten their members, to enrich themselves. It is called extortion. It is called Bible robbery. It is called stealing from the poor to enrich the rich. And now when they have brought all these tithes to you, the big pastors will now use the tithe from the poor people and open schools that the poor members cannot afford the fees for their children. Yes. You see, a lot of scripture that says judgment will begin from the church. You are collecting the tithe from the poor people and open a secondary school. And that secondary school fees will be more than 1,500,000. The poor will not be able to go. But it's their money. Eh? You are acquiring everything in this world for yourself and your family. But from the poor pockets, the pockets of the poor. And you are doing all of this. Change. Africa must be free. Africa must be free. The black people must be free from religious slavery and bondage. See, I have come in the name of the Most High to fulfill that was written of me. Africa will be free, whether you like it or not. That religious bondage and slavery that the white man brought, Africa will be liberated. Mark my word. Africa will be liberated. We have been in this religious slavery and bondage for too long. The poor will carry all their tithe. You see, tithe. They don't want to miss heaven now. If you don't pay tithe, you will not make heaven. So everybody must pay tithe. At the end of the day, they will open a secondary school or university that you cannot afford the fees from your tithe. Oh, Father of mercy. And they will come back and deceive you. Jesus is coming. No. No, be so. Let me ask one other question. If this pastor so believe that Jesus is coming, why are you now building empires all over the world? Why are you building skyscrapers? Why are you building companies? Why are you buying all these private jets? If you be okay, wow, private jets will take you to heaven. That will take you to heaven. I mean, if you believe that it's coming, the way you preach, why are you amassing wealth for yourself? And the poor members who's bringing this money to you are poor, no food, nothing. When there was COVID issue, some pastors were sending text messages, the account number to the members who need help in their houses. And you are collecting. And you are telling the members to wait, Jesus is coming to carry them. Why you are building your own heaven here on earth? Who are we deceiving? Who are you deceiving? You rob from the Bible. Some rob with pain. Some rob with gun. For you yourself, you rob with Bible. It is wrong. You rob with the Bible. Who told you that if I don't pay tithe, I will not prosper? Those people that are not even Christian, they don't know what they call Bible stuff. And they are so rich. So don't they prosper? Okay, you say your own is spiritual prosperity, because that's how black people mentality is. That's the mentality, the mindset of black people. You say, one thing is to prosper in the physical, one thing is to prosper in the spiritual. Spiritual prosperity. And your pastor is prospering physically. Riding the most expensive cars. And your own spiritual prosperity. You see, one of the ways of paying tithe, the principle of tithing. Go and read Deuteronomy chapter 14 from verse 22. It said, tithe everything that the Most High blessed you with. You know, tithe wasn't physical money, it was food items, crops. As you harvest, you take 1 out of 10, take 1 out of 10. If the cassava is plantain, yam, take 1 out of 10 and go and dump it there in the synagogue, in the tabernacle, where the Levites are serving, where the priests are serving. Interceding, making atonement, sacrifices for the people. That was the tithe. Now, he said, if your road is too far, so that you cannot carry all these tithes, go and read it. That's why I mentioned the scripture, so you go and read Deuteronomy, once again, Deuteronomy 14 from verse 22. In verse 24, it says, if the road is too far, so that you cannot pack everything to that place that the Most High have set to be worshipped, he said, then do this. Sell it, turn it to money, hold the money with you. Now, look at me very well. See what the Bible says you should, you that's watching me, not go and give it to your pastor. Look at what the Bible says you should do with that money. He said, hold the money with you and go to that place of worship. He said, when you get there, verse 26, chapter 14, Deuteronomy 14, verse 26 now say, then use that money and buy anything that your heart desires. He didn't say go and give to your pastor. Go and read it, you see it there. He said, go and use that money, buy anything that your heart desires. He gave a sample for oxen, for sheep, for this. This one is the crux of the matter. Those of you say we should not drink alcohol. Now look at this. He said, among all the things you buy, King James said, buy strong drink. NIV said, alcoholic drink. Living Bible, Good News said, buy beer. He said, you and your family and your friends enjoy it in the presence of the Lord your God. There you have learned to honor the Lord your God. So if a typical Christian sees me with one bottle of beer, I think you will say I'm a sinner. How dare I go to hellfire? But here is the principle of tithe paying. So I should take that money. Oh, I buy everything, buy beer, and enjoy it with me and my friends. King James said alcoholic drink. Strong drink, strong drink. King James said strong drink. NIV say alcoholic drink. Good news said beer. Among every other thing you should buy beer and enjoy it, you and your families. So if I buy beer and you see me with beer, you say, this one I see now. Now that I'm going to hell. In any case, in one of my episodes, I'm going to narrate to you, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to expose to you that doctrine of heaven and hell and whatever, that we are going to understand. Let's not rush matters. We have been deceived for too long. Africa must be free. Thank you very much. I'll come back to you again.